cardinal immutable, which is like stubborn, easygoing, and spontaneous. And the amino acid proteins are categorized as rigid, flexible, bistable. It's the same thing. So I cross-referenced, matched it, and got it validated by a chemical engineer. And I have a copyright called The Love Code Science of Soulmates, and I'm working on making an app for Android phones called Signals TLCSOS. That's the legit business part of it. So I'm like, how do I make a virtual venue for people that would make them interested? And the only thing that's close to what I'm working on is Japanese anime, like a maid cafe, a Japanese maid cafe for with anime. That's pretty much, the closest thing I can figure out. I just don't want to do it in a way that's going to alienate Bloodlines people or human people or, puppies, as you put it. Yeah, TLCSOL. Well, Signal, it's TLC is the Love Code Science of Soulmates, but it's also like you're doing a search for tender, loving care. And you see this little symbol on this board right here, on this little easel. That's my logo for the app. I just don't have the app done. So eventually they'll be able to click on that and get the app. Well, see, that's the thing is I thought that people that were anime and manga fans were going to know more about this stuff than me. You see, like, look at the slideshow right now. It's just a picture, and you can see in the corner of each one, like A, O, B, and AB. Like, that's anime. And there's, like, manga characters. All the manga characters, the Japanese, like music bands and stuff like that, they all know their blood types, and they know the personalities based on that stuff. So I thought anime people would know, like, more about manga and blood types and zodiac and be like, cool. And then I provide the science behind it, Where's the bird sign? Oh, well, that's on the Native American one on the next screen. At the bottom, there's a raven. But that's Western astrology, not the Chinese. You see at the bottom there should be a raven in there. Yeah, there is a raven. It's just not resing for me. I can't see it. Well, that's what I'm suggesting. I mean, but 90% of the people tell me I'm full of shit. When I go to AMH and talk about this, everybody gives me shit about it. Oh, there's that blood type guy. He's a fucking weirdo. But I'm like, my blood type is AB positive. My first fiance was O positive. My second one was B positive. And my third one was A positive. I'm not making that up. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to make it seem like that's true. That's a fact. That's the 100% truth. And looking back on the relationships, it makes total sense to me now. And anyone I ask about their blood types, it totally fits. Like, I believe blood type does determine your personality and compatibility. Yeah, hold on, let me find it. Yeah, so that's the next part of it. So this is what I found out, is that not only is it constellations and amino acid proteins, but that's the part that I just got about a few months ago, was the Myers-Briggs Trait Index actually determines what's called the Keirsey temperament characters. So the Keirsey, that's specifically what the MBTI is for. And the MBTI relates to one of the specific astrology signs. And like I said, I figured out that you have a rising sign in the morning, sun sign in the afternoon, an evening sign, and a nighttime sign. And then the other 8 have to do with periods of the day. So your Venus and Mercury and Venus fall under your rising sign. The Mars and Jupiter fall under your sun sign. So those are subcategories of Myers-Briggs Trait Index and Keirsey character temperaments. So that's the part that I'm trying to get people like, and so I want them to use that to not necessarily use those for role plays of Second Life, but I'm trying to develop a new thing. There can be a game developed off of this. Let me know. Hold on, I didn't open that one. That should be it right there that I just sent you, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that should be it. So you'll see at the bottom of those, underneath each one of the MBTI, there's an anime picture, and then underneath, that's the Keirsey temperament character. So in the morning, I'm a Cancer. Yeah, O positive is like almost half the world. 50% of the world is O. 15% is negative, 7% of O positive is negative. For the other 43% is O positive. Okay, so did you see the icebreaker note card inside on that table? So that's the manual way that I figure people can do this, sort of like a dating auction, is you click that after you've gotten your information from the laptops upstairs if you don't already know it, right? Um, so I'll give you this icebreaker note card. Wait, where's center? Oh, they went inside. I was just going to give it to you. But yeah, so you would fill that out. Like I don't have it in. I don't have it all done yet with the Kiersey temperament characters. But like, so it's basically about understanding yourself. So whether when you do go to make role play characters, you will know more about yourself to determine. Like, well, that Myers Briggs one, I actually edited that to create to put the characters at the bottom of that one. Yeah, I don't know who put those anime characters under the Myers Briggs, but I put the Kiersey character names underneath it. They had like more information about the MBTI character underneath it. But what I found out, if you look up the Kiersey temperament, I'll show you the website page for it. Where is it? Here it is. Like you'll see, like the MBTI in and of themselves is a pseudoscience. Like most of the stuff I'm talking about is a pseudoscience because you have to put it together with something else. That's why iridology, the map of your eye, that some people say they correlate to the astrology signs. They do. But what they don't understand is that not only that, but the iris of your eye, the map of your eye, also correlates to the mitochondrial circular genome map inside your DNA. And so that's when I put together the constellations and the proteins. So when you come out of your mother's womb, you're no longer protected by amniotic fluid. Solar energy channeled through the crystals of the constellations, which contains amino acid-like substances. That's a fact of science. Constellations contain amino acid-like substances that that solar energy then manipulates nucleotides to form amino acid proteins in your DNA. That's a fact. Like if you look up the World Book Encyclopedia, that's what causes amino acids to form into their proteins inside the mitochondrion that you get from your mother. You get the basic construct of your mitochondrion from your mother, and then the matrix is formed at the time, date, and place that you're born. So when you kiss someone, if your blood type is compatible, you can absorb and metabolize their chemistry, which will determine. So the Chinese astrology is what they ascribe to the codon, which is the latter side of your DNA that determines how you take in glucose and protein to cause ATP, the fuel for your hormones, epinephrine, dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin, which gives you the experiences of earthquakes, butterflies, goosebumps, and tunnel vision. That's internal chemistry. eHarmony matches MHC, the major histocompatibility complex. That's platonic physical pheromone chemistry. That's for procreation. That's if you want to have kids. That matches basically your left and right brain, your X and Y chromosomes from your mother and father for having kids. It's a very platonic relationship. You don't want to kiss that person. You'll give them a kiss on the cheek. You'll have two kids, two cars, a dog, and a house. You'll sleep in separate beds, but then you'll want to have an intimate relationship with someone else. So President JFK was AB positive. His wife was O negative. That's good for opposites attract for having kids. But if you want to have an intimate relationship, you want to have the same blood type, first of all. Then the Chinese animal and element that's compatible. And then the four signs for the daytime, like in the morning. I mean, put it this way, if you work a job, if you both of you work jobs or one of you works a job, you only have to be compatible in the evening and at night. When you come home from work and then when you sleep together. Other than that, in the daytime, your rising and sun sign, they don't matter until later in life when you retire and then you're going to have to spend time together. So if you go out to a bar and you hook up with somebody and you're compatible in the evening, you might try to have a date in the daytime tomorrow, but you're not going to be compatible because it's a different sign that you're influenced by at that moment, which is a different protein, which influences a different part of your brain that gives you a different part of personality, influence, or tendency, which you can override with chemistry like coffee, sugar, preservatives, and things like that. That's what people do to cope in America with chemistry. They override it with toxins and preservatives. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm trying to keep looking back on the chat because I keep missing what you guys are saying. But yeah, so that's basically the way I understand it. And there might be more to it. I just figured out that far of it, and I'm sure of that much of it. Like, that's chemistry. So if you try to role play being a vampire and your blood type is O positive, you're going to be a very vanilla type of a vampire. You're going to act very humanish. You're going to try to role play what you think it is, and you might hook up with somebody based off of that, but you're not going to maintain that relationship for very long. That's why people's role play sucks. Okay, so blood type A people, like here's what I understood from this. In a very legitimate way, blood type O is human. B would be lichen. A is vampire, and AB is a hybrid. I'm AB positive. I'm a hybrid. In the BDSM world, I'm a switch. And it's funny to me where people will say like, "Oh, my blood type is A positive and I'm a switch." Yeah, sure. Listen, this is the point. In your mind, in your imagination, you can pretend to be whatever you want based on the skill of the acquired skills through experience and knowledge and understanding. But in real life, if you meet someone on Second Life and you think you're compatible, there's no sense of taste, touch, or smell in Second Life, and you're not really seeing a person on their webcam, and you're not really hearing their voice. That's not real. Those are all electrical, fiber optically channeled pixels and things like that. None of that is real. So you can't get a sixth sense, which is your intuitive uh, sense from the pituitary gland, which you only get after you've absorbed and metabolized someone through kissing. You have to kiss someone with your eyes open. That's literally how you would know if you're compatible, but people don't do that. People don't do that. They just don't. They hop in the sack, they have sex, they don't do oral, they wear a condom, they have preservatives and alcohol and chemistry and makeup, all these different things that are in the way of actual chemistry. Then they wake up the next day and wonder, why don't I like you anymore? Who is this person? I don't like you. You've changed. Or one of them is dating someone already and you think you're attracted to that person, but then they break up with that person that they were with and you start to lose attraction because you weren't attracted to that person. You were attracted to that person plus someone else's chemistry. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Like I'm not trying to force people to believe anything. That's just what makes sense after I learned about what chemistry is. Yeah, like in the morning, I'm a Cancer, which is a woodpecker. In the afternoon, I'm a wolf, I'm a Pisces, which is a wolf. In the evening, I'm an Aquarius, which is an otter. And at nighttime, I'm a Virgo, which is a bear. So it's like I wake up in the morning like an alarm clock, like a woodpecker. In the afternoon, I'm a wolf hunting for my food. In the evening, I'm an otter, like making my dam and my little house to go to sleep. And then at night, I'm a bear and I go to bed. So I get this. Like for me, this is like boom, man. Like I get it. It works. But everyone I try to talk to about it, they don't, like most people don't want to even get into it. Some people have gone through this whole process and they're like, holy shit, this makes perfect. This is real. Like it's not just like, and these are not like gullible people. These are people who are just very like open-minded and willing to be legitimate, look at it, and they're like, that's real shit. Can to explain how much like thing connects to the different races. That's one thing I've never been able to, if there's anything like that. Like races, there's every blood, like, well, here's the one thing I can say. The first blood type on the earth was blood type O in Africa. The majority of Africa is blood type O. Like African Americans and black people are blood type O. That doesn't mean everybody on the earth that's O is black or African, but that's where blood type O comes from, the first blood type. Then the next blood type that existed was blood type B, which is mostly in India, which is a dairy eater. So if you think about it, people started traveling from Africa. Remember, even the Bible says that, right? And they started drinking milk and worshiping cows. That's India, right? Then people went up north to become Asians and Caucasians, right? Blood type A, vegetarians, right? Then 2,000 years ago in the Middle East is supposedly when AB positive started, the universal receiver blood type. That's when that one started. So and so you would say that basically, black people became Indian people, became Asian people, and then became white people. It doesn't mean anything about evolution, about superiority. It's just like the evolution of diet, of survivability for diet, I guess. But that's the closest. Like I haven't found any correlation to eye color and blood type that was legitimate enough to stick. I couldn't figure it. I don't. I wish there was, and maybe there is, but I haven't figured that out yet. If I can figure that out, that would make everything fucking really easy because I could walk up to somebody and be like, "Oh, your eye color is black or really dark. Your blood type is O." I don't know if that's true or not, though. I don't think that's true. Wait, Europe is holding the record for first humans? See, this is stuff that I don't get into debates with people about stuff like that. I just go by what I know is true that is scientifically proven in fact. Like I don't know if that's anything anyone could ever actually prove, or I don't know. I don't have any, but I know for a fact that like their blood type O would have had to have been first. That's it. That's all I know. And then the fact that people say that life started in Africa and it makes sense that, when you look at it as a big picture, you have to look at something from all different points of view. You can't, have to like physics, chemistry, biology, and math. You have to look at it all together. Otherwise, it's just pseudoscience. Like what just to say that like Europeans were the first people on the planet, that would be considered a pseudoscience because I don't know that that can actually be proven. Yeah, well, that's what I just said. Like Africans are mostly blood type O. Indians are mostly hold most blood type O is in Africa. If you Google this anywhere, like you'll see every test from everywhere I've ever seen agrees on these things. That most blood type O's are found in Africa, and most blood type B's are found in India. Most blood type A's are found in Asia and Europe, and most ABs are found in in actually India and Japan. Well, Japan actually, from what I've seen, has 9.9% AB positive blood type. So I'm cool with doing anime. I get that. I love sushi and that's all cool and everything like that. This whole thing is based on basically the theory of Japanese blood type and zodiac theory of personality. I just correlated with it the amino acid proteins, the Myers-Briggs trait index into the Kelsey temperament characters. So if people can, if the maids here can walk people through this process, if I can find a way to make it really simple, right? Like, onegashimasu, yoroshiku kudasai, whatever they say, hajimemashite, whatever they say to them, and they bring them inside and they walk them up to this little area and they say like, oh, if you don't know what your blood type is, please click this and you can find out where you can buy a blood type test kit. Then you go to the next area and it's like, you can find out what year you were born. You can find out what your animal and the element is. Then the next one, you'll find out what your natal chart signs are. It's really like 3 steps, very simple, you know. And then it would be like, okay, so now you have those signs. Now you would go to the Kiersey temperament character and find out what it's ascribed to, or maybe it could spit it out automatically. They'll click on a little picture. I'm a Pisces, boom, like it'll tell you like, okay, my rising sign is Cancer. So in the morning I'm a Cancer, which is whatever. I have to get the other. I don't have a map to show which one they correlate with, but well, I know. Actually, is Pisces is a healer. Yeah, that's the Eldon card. Yeah, I mean, I recommend people getting the one from Diadamo, from the ones who write that book, the Blood Type Diet. He's the Diadamo. He's like the number one, and that's like the best, most accurate, most race of blood type or vampires. That would probably be. You know what? I would say Asians or Caucasians. Maybe Asians. You know what I mean? I think Asians probably. But that's just blood type A is like mostly Asian and Caucasian. So here's the thing. There's 3 blood types basically. There's 3 blood types: O, B, and A. That's Africa, India, Asia. Caucasians, and to some degree, are considered to be like an aberration of nature. Like they kind of just happened, and they're not really like a race. They're like an absence of race to some degree. That's why like white supremacists go crazy with that. They think they're like a pure like non-race or whatever. Like everyone else is a minority to them. But and I'm Caucasian. I'm Italian, French, Polish, Irish, and English. But I know the reality of how nature actually works. Most people are blood type O, and most O's are found in Africa. Like all life started there, and But all I'm trying to do is show people like this: if this is what you are, this is what you're compatible with, and like it's mainly to help people. Like I created Dating Anonymous, which is like a 12-step group, like Alcoholics Anonymous. But most people in SL don't want to do that shit. Like they'll go to BDSM discussions because they want to hook up with somebody and have sex, you know. But nobody wanted to come to my Dating Anonymous meetings to be like, boo hoo, I had bad relationships. You know, nobody wants to do that shit. You know, nobody wants to go to AA or anything like that. X-Men, the only thing closest that I found that would work with this, like it's something like that, would be Overwatch. Because in Overwatch, you've got 5 basic characters. 4 of them fit the blood types: soldiers, scientists, adventurers, and oddities. The 5th level is Guardians, which is like the supervisors of the whole thing, I guess. But so, like in Bloodlines, human, and vampire hybrid, and Goreans, they fit the personality traits directly, which is warrior, hunter, gatherer, humanitarian. That's the 4 Japanese blood type theory personalities: warrior, hunter, gatherer, humanitarian. The My Little Pony world: pony, Pegasus, unicorn, alicorn, right? You've got the basic pony. That's 50% of the people just want to be a pony. You know, they're just like very one-dimensional fight or flight people. Then you've got Pegasus, then a unicorn, and then alicorn. Alicorn is like a combination of all of them, right? In Harry Potter, you've got Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin. Oh, wait, fuck. Hufflepuff. Wait, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, right? In what I call the fake community: furry, kimono, anime, and elven or fantasy. But I call it the fake community, Fake. Furry, most like 50% of people that are in the furry world just want to be a furry. They don't really need to be like a kimono or anything specific, just furry. And then you've got anime, which is like a step above that, which is like more of like the human. And then the kimono, which is a combination of both of those. And then the elvens, which are like, or the fantasy, which is like a combination of all kinds of crazy stuff. But the basic blood type, you know, if your blood type is O and you try to roleplay as a vampire, that's why most vampire clans are just buddies that hang out. They don't roleplay. You know, like a true vampire would be a person that makes you feel nervous in the sense of like they have a very dominant personality. They're very dominant, like supervisors or managers or bosses. Those are the people that are basically ruling the world right now. I don't know. You know what? Honestly, I couldn't come up with a better word that would fit the fake thing. It's just fantasy, you know, or droids. Like droids in that whole anime world. Like there's a like my friend, she had a basic furry avatar. Maybe it might even be I might even be doing it a little bit backwards or whatever. Maybe anime is the basic, but I see like in SL there's more of an abundance of furries than there are anime avatars, right? And then there's like, you know, then there's the kimono thing, which a lot of people make fun of. You know, it's a kimono. It's like supposed to be a combination of human and, you know, furry together. So it's like those 2 basic ones. Like anime is like a very basic, a very beta type of an avatar, just a very basic anime avatar that's very beta. So a kimono is like, I'm a furry, but I'm also an anime. And then, I don't know, at the 4th level, I guess droid. You know, my friend, like, she had an anime avatar that was furry and kimono or whatever. She had a kimono anime avatar that was a droid. So that's like a combination of all 4. And I thought about doing like a sci-fi environment, like the Matrix. Like people would come in and be like, this is what this place is. If you want to keep going, take the red pill. If you don't want to go any further with this, take the blue pill. And it would like teleport you to an area where you can just hang out with people and chill. You know, if you took the red pill, it would teleport you into like, you know, the next step, you know, where you'd go to the next room and find out what your blood type is. Like I could do it like that, but I just don't think everybody in Second Life would want to go to a place like that. That's why I figured it's got to be more of a welcome area. And the most common place that I found for people to meet for the first time for friendship or dating is a coffee shop, right? So that's why I went with the cafe theme. And I told my friend, she found that coffee chemistry set that's up in the lounge upstairs. And then I saw it was made by Soy, and I started buying all of Soy's furniture, found this building, stretched it out, started filling it up, and that's where I am now. And so, like, I'm not a gamer. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's on my profile. I'm 46 years old. I don't know shit about role play, anime, games, or anything. All I know is that this chemistry stuff is real. and the closest thing I can find in virtual reality that fits with it is the Japanese anime. Anime, you know, there's weebs and there's otaku. The otaku people know what I'm talking about, and they're the ones that the otaku people are like, oh, blood type, yeah, oh, I know my blood type, and oh yeah, I know what year I was born, and I know, oh, that's interesting, oh, I want to know more. Well, let me know when your place is done. I want to come hang out there, and I'll work for you. I would love to work with you. And then, but most people are weebs who are like, I just want to hang out. I just want to fuck around. I just want to troll and grief and have fun. I don't come here to date people. I just want to have sex and fuck around or play games and shoot things. And I get it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I think if those people, if I could make them interested enough, maybe they would find better friends to hang out with. You know, they wouldn't be so triggered or OCD or ADHD or, you know, they wouldn't be so triggered about everything and they might have a better time, you know, and maybe they would not need to do so much crazy stuff or eat snack comfort foods because they're miserable and lonely and out of shape and developing, you know, physical problems because of their mental issues based on their emotional state of mind, you know, because they're not compatible with people anymore because they're so full of, you know, junk. So, you know, I thought about doing a pizza shop. You know, blood type O, they're meat eaters, right? So they would have an all meat lovers pizza, you know. Then you've got the dairy eaters, which is blood type B, a cheese pizza. Then you have like a vegetable pizza with no cheese for the vegetarians. And then just like honestly, I'm cool with bread and oil and, you know, like, or a combination of everything, but just not as much meat, like a combination pizza. That's what I would be. I'd be like combo pizza with like olives and onions and all kinds of weird shit on it. That's my kind of thing. You know, like equal amounts of all that stuff. So I could make an environment like that. Maybe that's the next thing I'll do is make a pizza place, a hangout with a big courtyard where everybody can just chill. Yeah, a normal pizza comes with cheese, but like if a person's a vegetarian, you know, or like uh, some people who are like blood type A people would mostly be lactose intolerant. Blood type A people would be like blood type O's to some degree are kind of like lactose intolerant, but they like a challenge. So they're like, fuck it, I like it. It makes me fart. You know, it's cool. I was figuring it'd be fuck the cheese and more meat. We mean for a blood type A person? Well, here's another problem though. Here's another glitch in the problem in the matrix. Just because your blood type shows up on an Eldon card test as type A, you might be a phenotype mixed with another type like O. So Britney Spears is phenotype AO. Her mother is A and her father is O. Okay? Kevin Federline, her children's father, is AB like me. And I do that to women. I make women go insane because my antigens are too dominant for their immune system to process out. So their immune system ends up attacking their own organs as a foreign body, like their liver and spleen. So they drink alcohol to bypass their liver, and then they cut their hair to make their hair grow to jumpstart their spleen, which turns old dead blood cells into hair. That's what happened to Britney Spears. She was incompatible with Kevin Federline. She was a dominant type. Her blood type is A, but her father is O. So an AB is more dominant than an AO. AA is more dominant than an AB. So that's why British people in Britain tend to be like an AA phenotype. They're both A. They're snobs. Those are the people that are anal, arrogant, alpha assholes. That's the true type A. Americans got away from that back in the George Washington days, and they mixed with the Africans, right? That's the history. So now we have the phenotype AO in America. That's the majority of the phenotype is O and AO in America. No, AA makes you a pure blood vampire. And AO makes you a sub-vampire, like one that was turned. You see what I mean? An AA vampire can be considered a pure blood vampire from their lineage, pure vampires. But an AO means you have humans in your bloodline. And that's a weaker type of it's still a vampire, but it would be a human vampire like Twilight. Okay, did you guys see Twilight? This will explain it really clear for you right here. Is there anybody here who did not see Twilight? Okay. Well, here's the thing with Twilight, right? Well, okay. Well, Twilight is a vampire movie, but it also has lichens and humans in it, right? Now, here's the thing. Bella is AB. She's a hybrid by nature. She's capable of being a hybrid. That's why Edward, whose blood type is A, and Jacob, whose blood type is B, were both attracted to her. She liked both of them, but she went with the more dominant type, which was Edward. Her mother is type A and her father is type B. And I know this is even more true because of the fact that it's the same as my family. My mother is type A and my father is type B. My dad is a total fucking werewolf type. My mom is a total vampire type, but they both are mixed with type O with one of my grandparents on both sides. So my father is a human lichen. My mom is a human vampire, and I am a combination of both of those. So I could most likely be with an O negative woman and procreate. That would probably be what I would be more now that I'm thinking about that, because I've always thought like, so it makes sense how like JFK was married to an O negative, but he was also compatible with Marilyn Monroe and was going to leave his wife to be with her, but he was assassinated because his wife just wasn't having it, you know, and his politics changed. Once he became self-aware as an AB, he realized he was more dominant than all the people that he was serving. But you'd like overpower some girls because you're black. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm 5'6". I'm an average looking guy, and I get I've gotten girls in my past in that were like other guys were trying to get them, but I don't fall in love. So those girls would come to me because they would be in like a bad relationship with somebody. Wait, the person who asked me that question, did they leave? Oh no, it was Center. Okay, so like my first fiance was O positive. She was sitting at a table at the E Club when I was in the Marine Corps in Okinawa, and we saw each other from across the room. And she flipped me off and was smiling and blushing and stuff. And I came over, and she was like, came on aggressive because I'm a dominant person. Like I walk into a room and I make people kind of like nervous, but not nervous, because I'm A and B. I have the A side that's like a vampire, but the B side that's like a lichen. So lichens are like buddies with everybody. They're very friendly like dogs, you know, very friendly. But I'm also half vampire, which is like, you know, fucking evil and, you know, cerebral and stuff like that. So I'm a combination of both. And I also have bloodline O in my family, so I'm approachable to a degree. So my second fiance was type B positive. She was drinking wine, and that's like a balance for me. So I was getting the chemistry of a type B person, but an A type diet, and we had amazing sex. And then she went nuts. All three of them went crazy after a while. The third one was type A positive. I met her at this school that I graduated from, a 4-month little travel school thing that I went to, a little thing I saw on TV that had a campus. Went there for 4 months. I ended up working out there. I would see her around, and she was always like, you know, hooking up with all these different guys and like all these little cuckolds, you know, like they were like, you know, like dudes, you know, that they were like men and stuff like that, or man boys or whatever, but they were cuckolds to a degree. And eventually, like, she got drunk one night and she came up to me and tried to hook up with me. And I turned her down because I'm a student assistant and I'm not supposed to be dating the students. I was 29 and she was 19. And evidently that broke her heart, so I ended up dating her and then she went fucking crazy. Okay, well, technically okay, blood type B is a cuckold to type A. Type O is aggressive, but type O is usually like they try to stick with their own kind. That's 50% of the world is type O. B is a cuckold to type A automatically, but that's their natural station in life. Like I said, in the BDSM world, you have vanilla, submissive, dominant, and switch. Okay, so blood type O's are inherently vanilla. Like I have friends that are type O. They're very vanilla people. So they can role play in Second Life and try to be things that they're not, like submissive or dominant. But you know those types. Yeah, I'm sure you've come across those types. If an O positive person tried to role play as a dominant, I would cuckold them. I do it at AMH all the time. And they walk into it and they think that they're trolling me. They'll say it like it was just like the last couple of days I was over there. There was like two guys that kept saying like, "Oh look, I just trolled you, ha ha ha," and I'm like, I'm still here. I don't know what you're talking about. Like you don't phase me. I'm seriously like not. I'm trying to talk to you about chemistry stuff, and you're trying to troll me. You're trying to cuckold me, but it's not going to happen. So I ended up making them upset and angry. Then they run away, and then they come back, and they have to call their friends for backup. That's a cuckold. I mean, technically, a cuckold is a guy that lets his wife have sex with other men, or a woman that lets her husband or man sleep with other women. That's a cuckold. Or you've been cuckolded. Like, I want to have sex with other women. You're going to let me do it whether you like it or not, and you're going to stay with me because I'm telling you to. So that's cuckolding. But the ramifications of it, like on the spectrum, I can see all the different levels of it because you've got people that can be like an AO phenotype. That's a vanilla dominant, a dom vanilla, or right? So that's a vanilla dom. Depending on which parent is which, right? So like if it's a girl and her mother is type A and her father is O, then she's going to be a dominant submissive. Okay? If it's a guy and his father is type A and his mother is type O, he's going to be a submissive dominant. If that makes so, it's what I'm trying to. So there's there's a basic construct of four blood types, but you've also got positive and negative, right? So that changes things because rhesus factor positive people are monkeys. I'm a monkey. Religion is for monkeys like me. I do religions and spiritual practices that involve sativa. Every religion uses sativa because that's what basically numbs or gets rid of or makes us more enlightened to transcend our rhesus monkey complex. Does that make sense? Because that's what it is. It's the rhesus factor. It's the rhesus monkey factor. So I was born AB positive, but I do spiritual practices and religions so that I don't get caught up in being a monkey. I don't get pushed around like a monkey. I don't get triggered like a monkey. It happens sometimes when I'm not aware of it and I'm not like doing my Hindu stuff, or if I take my necklace off that's made of tulsi, which is neem, holy basil and stuff like that. I do these things to keep me from getting triggered. And all the monkeys that'll go to AMH, like the O positives don't really try to dominate everyone. They're basically like, we're either going to be friends or not friends, friends or not friends, friends or enemies, friends or enemies. That's an O positive, very one-dimensional. The two-dimensional mindset is the blood type B person that is fight or flight plus logic. If you ever talk to a blood type B person, like an Indian person from India, they're very logical. They talk about sex like Kama Sutra and Tantra. They're very logical, very left brain. Then you have the right brain, which is the emotional type A. So if a person is a phenotype AO, they have the fight or flight complex plus the third dimensional mindset of the emotions of the right brain. I'm a four-dimensional person, an AB positive that sees the spiritual side, which is the internal matrix of a person and their personality. And I like to take a lot longer to get to know a person, and I don't judge them right off the bat. But I can tell, for the most part, like if a person's on voice from their personality. The fact that you guys are still here, you probably have O blood type from one of your parents. An A blood type would be like ignoring everything I'm saying, would be annoyed by it because I have also blood type B, and they don't want to hear so much of that stuff. So as an AB, though, I'm a universal receiver, so I can receive everyone. I can get what you're saying and what other people are saying and what they want to talk about. But a lot of people are just not self-aware. They're not very self-knowledgeable. They've also been through bad relationships, and they're very corrupted by bad chemistry. And plus, they're probably eating a lot of junk food with preservatives and toxins and shit. So add all that up and then put them in an environment of role play, and they're just going to be fucking nuts. They have no idea what they're doing. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to start a trend in virtual reality of teaching people to start off like college students, 18 to 22, the age where they're able to start, engaging in intimate relationships, but also relatively educatable and probably still have their paperwork, like their blood type and their birth certificate and stuff like that. You have to have a blood test and a birth certificate to be able to do this in the first place. So I have to set that up like that in the first place here. Like I have to have a place that it's like I have a building that I have set up as a tattoo parlor and a tarot parlor. So it's basically like a blood bank and a sperm bank. So I have that building. I just don't have it out here. I probably should have people go in there first and then start there. I don't eat shit. I don't think O type is a scat fetish type. No, O type is a very, like I said, half the world is type O, and most of them are O positive. So O positive is the majority of the blood type of the world. Those are the people that have common sense. They worship common sense. They don't get caught up in bullshit. They're not gullible. They're not stupid. They're very, they're warriors. I mean, they have a code, a very inherent natural code. That's type O. That's 50% of the world. 7% of those O's are negative. They're very generous, very giving, very basic natured, very, calm people. O negative. That's my opposite. And I can be with those types. Like we balance each other out. Like, my manic depression comes down a level and I bring them up out of their shell a little bit. O's Koreans, 50% of people are Koreans. Here's the thing. I could not legitimately say in virtual reality that the blood types matter here. I can't say they exist here because, like I said, I don't think people are role-playing what they are. Just because someone's O positive, like, here's the thing. If a person is in virtual reality and their blood type is O positive, 9 times out of 10, they've come across an intimate reaction with somebody of a different blood type and has basically piqued their natural curiosity through chemistry to want to role play or understand through role play whatever that type is. So they'll role play something different. So I can't say that 50% of every role play is going to be the basic part, like humans in Bloodlines. Because I've met a lot of O positives that role play as a vampire. But their role play sucks dick. They're not a fucking vampire to me. They don't come across like a vampire. When I joined Bloodlines, everybody automatically was like, based on your personality, I'd say you're a hybrid. When I joined My Little Pony, they're like, you should be a Discord. I mean, I'm not acting like that to a certain degree right now. Like when I interact with people for the first time and I haven't eaten today and, stuff like that. I'm trying to go vegan right now. I've been drinking that naked kale blazer drink. And I'm kind of like I haven't had any dairy for like 3 days. But if I eat pizza and I walk into a role play in Second Life after I've eaten pizza, I'm just too much for most people to handle. There's the blood type A, the AO phenotypes, they try to cuckold me. They try so hard. Because as soon as I walk in and start talking, I make a girl laugh or I say something interesting, I've automatically taken the attention away from them, and they hate that shit. Well, see, that's what you would think, yeah, people should be attracted to their own type, but that's why if someone has a mixed phenotype, they're going to be confused with what they're attracted to. An AO phenotype will settle for a type O, but they will cuckold that type O. The type O, my friend in real life, I have a friend, same age as me. He has 2 kids of his own. He's married to a woman, has 2 kids of her own. They have a child together. He's O positive. She's A positive. He's a cuckold. She literally tells him she's going to go out on dates with other men as if it's a joke, but he knows for a fact that she's done it and will continue to do it. But he says, well, what am I going to do, man? We're married. I love her. That's my wife. An A-type man would never fucking stand for that shit. Or he would do it back to her, but he won't do it. He won't fucking cheat on her because he has a code. No, if I made a pizza place and I set it up like a maid cafe, yeah, like this is my point though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's not working. That's why I can't do this. Because most people in virtual reality are not interested enough to want to bring reality in here. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How to make it so interesting that people would be willing to find out what their blood type is. I have to coax them. I have to convince them like, okay, here's the reward. If you role play as a character in Bloodlines, if your blood type is O and you role play as a human and hang out with other humans, you would have a better time. For whatever reason, I don't know why it is, a lot of those people just ignore that and say they don't want to do it. They don't want to be pigeonholed. But you can't fucking fight Mother Nature. If you go to a hospital and you tell them, okay, my blood type's O positive, but I want you to give me A positive blood, they can't do that. Yes, I've cheated, yes. But it's only because, like, they think I'm cheating. Like, they're like, I think you're cheating on me. You're probably going to cheat on me. I'm not good enough for you, or you don't think I'm good enough for you. And they just get so fucked up like that like they make me want to cheat on them. And like, and I know that's what they want, because like that's the only way. If you think about alchemy and magic, the only way that I can let go of them, because I'll drive them insane. I can literally make a girl kill herself. I can make her kill herself. That's no bullshit, dude. I'm talking about with just straight up personality. I can, if a girl that's like an A negative girl is only 4% of the world. I can make a girl that's A negative, I can make her kill herself. I can make a B negative kill someone else. If you study these things enough and you learn about it, you'll see that what I'm saying is not, it's all true. This is real chemistry. This is chemistry. When people say they want chemistry in a relationship, that's what it is. Yeah, yeah, that's every girl that I've ever dated. Until I cheat on them, they go insane. They start drinking, they start doing drugs, they start fucking going crazy. They're paranoid as shit. They think they're pregnant, then they think they're not pregnant. All kinds of weird shit happens. And I'm just saying, like, if you look into this, you'll find the same thing I have. The Japanese know more about this than anybody in the world, dude. They know more than anybody. I'm just going by my past experiences that has been validated by their research. That's it. Like, they're very scientific about this, and they know this stuff. And they base all their characters on this. Any game that you look at is going to be using those 4 basic types. I've seen it. It's a 4-dimensional world. So I just would like to think that, you know, like, I know this stuff, and I'm cool with that. Like, I don't role play because nobody role plays anything legit. Like, if everybody was forced to role play their blood type, like, I think in the future, 50 years from now, I think it'll be a sci-fi world and more sci-fi with bioinformatic, like, built-in implant RFID chips that will work as a GPS, eHarmony GPS. You know what I mean? And it would work probably like maybe with special glasses or something that would be like, it would just tell you directly how compatible you are with someone within a certain space. If you held somebody's hand or something, or if you kissed somebody, you know, like it'd be a shot collar. I'd put a fucking shot collar in it, you know, like a dog collar. If you're not compatible, it'd zap the shit out of you. That's what I think is going to have to happen to make people fucking learn not to fight Mother Nature, you know? Because you try to have a kid with somebody, if you're a woman and your blood type is O positive, and you try to have a child with someone whose blood type is A positive, who has both of their parents that's A positive, it's going to fucking kill you unless you get like ROGAM shots, but then you can't fucking like breastfeed your child. And that's why people grow up fucked up, is because they're fed with formula. That's chemistry. It's all chemistry. Everything in life is all chemistry. So once you know the code, you know the matrix, you know, then you don't make mistakes. I don't date unless the last woman that I dated was O negative. And I was like, yeah, I could see it. We could probably have kids, but she was already married and had kids, and she lied to me about that. And I met her on SL. And after the 3rd time we hooked up, she told me. So, but I was like, I can see the relationship. I could see. But it's not an intimate, eye-to-eye, equal relationship. It's not. It's total opposites. You know? Like, she doesn't get me at all. I'm a total mystery to her. So she'll listen to everything I say, you know, all day long. The same blood type. If you're A positive, you should be with A positive. Now, if you want to have kids, here's the thing. If you're a mixed phenotype, you should probably procreate. So if you're an AO positive, if you're an AO positive phenotype, you should be with a BO negative phenotype and have kids. Or you can. You're more than likely going to feel the tendency to go that route. Does that make sense? If your blood type is AA positive, you might want to be with a B positive for procreation purposes, for having kids. So to whatever degree I can see at this point, it still seems like it's a choice. We have choice. But the choices that you have, if you're an O positive, I would literally say that if you're O positive, you should never fuck with anybody that's not O positive. I don't see why they would, because it will never work. They will get divorced. The mother will get custody of the child, and that's just going to be the way it is. Exactly. See, if you don't already know your blood type, that's why I said like college students, like, they would have like I could go to a college to do a seminar for a cosplay convention and bring the Red Cross to do blood testing for people. Or I could sell them blood type test kits that would include a membership or the purchase of the app if I make an app. If I make an Android app, phone app called Signals TLCSOS, they would sign up for that for like $10 and get a free blood type test kit or something like that. You know what I mean? Or if they buy a blood type test kit, they would get the app free. Otherwise, yeah, I'd do it like that. Like if you need a blood type test kit, you buy it, you get the app free. Or if you don't need a blood test, you just pay $5 for the app. $5 either way. And if your blood type is O positive, I probably would recommend you should only be with an O positive. I don't see why they would want to be with someone else. I mean, that's why people fall for other people, but that's just fucked up. It just would never work. I don't have a preference for that. They just be any blood type. I was gonna do it freelance. You know what I mean? I mean, well, I haven't thought about it past that point. But you know what? If I said that every maid had to be, you know what? Honestly, if I really wanted to make it a perfect fucking maid, then they should all be O negative. To be honest with you, every maid should be A negative or O negative, because O negatives, they usually work at hospitals and they're very good nurses and they're nurturing and giving. So if I really wanted to make it specific like that, I probably should only hire O negative women to be maids. But they're fucking rare, dude. Only 7% of the world is O negative. So okay, so freelance, I'll show you guys. I'm gonna show you. I had it set up. I'll show you. I have textures for signs. This is the way I have it set up. Hold on, let me get these. So this is when I call the place Cosplay Cafe. I'm sending you a texture for that. Cosplay Cafe. And it basically just says, when they walk in the door to the right, there's a sign there, and it used to have this one. And it says, yeah, I don't know about quotas. I don't know how I could do that. Because like I said, if I advertised at colleges and I haven't really gotten that far into it to determine like that. Like, I don't really want to pigeonhole people that severely, but you got me thinking about it now. I might actually start thinking about it like that. But you see that sign, so it says, need lindens, you're hired, start now. Join the group, rent an ad board, log into a tip jar. That was pretty much it. And I have these floating, hovering coffee cup tip jars. So you join the group, you rent an ad board, put that, and when you land here, it says, watch the slideshow, use the laptops, get your icebreaker note card. The icebreaker note card says to put it inside the ad board. You see, so it's like a whole, nobody really needs to manage it. People come in, it tells you the instructions. You go through the process, you get your note card, you join the group, rent an ad board, log into a tip jar, put your note card in the ad board, and you just start fucking working. You meet people and help them do the process of figuring out what they are. And then I guess notify the group when someone joins or something. Or I haven't gotten that far into it. Because so far I've seen that most people don't even give a shit about this stuff. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of a theme, you guys are helping me more than probably anyone else ever has. Nobody else ever wants to help me with this, to this point of asking me legit questions like, how would you set it up for if I did a game or a role play, if I wanted to hire a specific, like a GM, I would probably want my GM to be an AA phenotype. Have you guys seen Oron High School Host Club? Have any of you guys seen that? I just watched the whole series. I just finished the last one today. What's a Fujo? Oh, I don't, you guys know more than I do about that even. I mean, I don't know you guys or what you know, but I've seen Sinner over at AMH a lot, but I didn't know anything about Sinner. But here's the maid menu that I was gonna put behind the, or okay, behind the counter. the counter would where I would put the work sign with the tip jars on the counter, right? And then on the left side where I have the Marilyn Monroe sign, I would put that maid menu that I just sent you. So it's basically like that's the rates, you know? So the maids, if you wanted to hire a maid, it'd be like if you want to chill, that's a cuddle, that's 100 lindens. If you want to chat, you want them to emote for you, that's 75 lindens. If you want them to coffee, which means answer trivia questions, 50 lindens. And if you want them to club or dance for you, it's 25. And block stops drama. You know, it's very like self-managing. Emote. An emote is like what they do at strip clubs. You know, if I give you a tip of like 25 lindens, you'd be like, an emote is expressing the emotional response that you have to what I just tipped you for. You know, like if I tip you 150 lindens, like if I give you 10 lindens, you'd be like, thanks, smiley face. That's an emoticon or an emoji. That's an emote to a degree, right? If I give you like 500 lindens, you might be like, um, thank you, Brian, so much for that linden love. Hops down off the table, comes over, turns around, shakes my booty, pulls my undies down for you a little bit, you know, turns around, kisses you on the cheek, jiggles my boobies and walks back and gets back up on the table. If I give you like 1,000 lindens, maybe you would like put a boobie in my mouth or something, or give me a kiss on the lips or lick my tongue. That's an emote. It's not sex, but it's sexy. You know, like I just feel like, you know, the way you were talking about like the diapers with the cocks and stuff. Yeah, I don't want shit like that going on. You know, I mean, it's going to scare away all the decent, nice people that are looking for a date or a friend, you know? That's what I'm trying to do, is doing something that's like more of a Second Life, Linden Labs destination guide approved type of a venue, you know, that's a universal welcome area orientation role play info hub. You know, make it a nice place where, you know, I mean, if you want to role play in your IM, all kinds of dirty shit, who's going to stop you? You know what I mean? I just figured like public sex or rental rooms, it's going to attract a lot of, you know, people that are not really interested in finding legit, you know, connections with people. I'm looking for a legitimate connection. At the very least, I want to help other people. If I can help two people find true friendship, I feel good. That's really what this is all about. If I can help people find true friendship with people that you can trust, that you're compatible with, that you can enjoy your time with, you know, and maybe even meet up in real life. Because, you know, that's eventually, I would like to think that's what everybody would want. I mean, I'm sure they've given up on that. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Second Life is not a dating service, because of like that movie Life 2.0. The Canadian man and the American woman that hooked up for 2 years in Second Life. They were both married to other people. They decided to move in together, so they both got divorces. And a month later, they fucking broke up. He moved to India, and she had a nervous breakdown. Because there's no such thing as true love in virtual reality. People that meet on virtual reality and then hook up and move in together and stay together long term, they turn into roommates, right? That's all I've ever seen. Just roommates. They pretend to be in love. They think they're in love because they like the same snacks. We both love Cheetos, and we both love the same kinds of movies. That is fucking stupid. Those are people that just want a warm body in the other room to keep them from committing suicide. I get it. I would never stop them from doing that. But what if I could find them both a better person for each other? Yeah. I'm not working with the government. I just report to the FBI Internet Crimes Unit. And I saw the video of him admitting that he says straight out, he says he's a pedophile. But here's the thing, though. You can be a pedophile. That's not illegal to be one. To act upon it with actual children. Like he did say, one of the guy that was trolling him in the video, Swayward, asked him, he said, would you actually have sex with a child if you were given the opportunity? He said he would. He said even if the girl was like 9 years old, as long as she knew what sex was and was really willing to do it, he said he would do it. So that does make him a pedophile. But the thing is that, and the guy asked him, he said, what was your motivation for making your avatars look so young and innocent with vaginas and boobs and stuff? And he said, because of that, you know. So he is a pedophile, and he admitted it, but I was banned from AMH first for distributing the video. But then I talked to him, and he said basically it's like this: live and let live. Don't judge people for what they're like and stuff like that. You know, he doesn't. He said he doesn't have sex with children and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, personally, at this point, I don't really give a shit because I've never heard about him doing anything with real kids. Nobody that's a real child is going to end up at AMH. I guess. I guess real kids can't go there. So there's really not. I was only worried about the fact that I thought kids go to AMH because I'm against actual pedophiles. If you try to have sex with a kid or you talk about it or you look at naked pics of kids and want to have sex with them or in sexual situations, I will fucking report you to the FBI without even hesitating. But what people do in Second Life as grown adults is that they role play as younger kids and stuff. And you can actually go to Sims in Second Life and be naked as a child with adults. But you can't have sex and you can't do anything kinky or talk about sex or be sexual. You can be naked like a nudist. It's called a family-safe nudist beach. That's legally allowed. But I don't want that shit here. I'm not trying to promote lollies and lolly admirers and stuff like that. But I was sticking up for them the other day when some guy was calling lollies pedophiles. Because technically it's not. And so they have to understand what people really are doing before you can judge them for what they're doing. So just because somebody says they're a lolly or they like lollies or they like to look at lollies or whatever doesn't make them a pedophile. That just makes them fucking weird, you know? So, I mean, I'm not trying to promote anything like that. Like, that's why at this point, did you see the rule sign that I have inside on the wall underneath the clocks? No, I don't work. Here's the thing. Anybody can work for the FBI if you're like as an informant. At what I would call myself as an informant for the FBI. But I rarely make any reports anymore because I realize that they have to actually be breaking the law. And the law states that you can have pictures of any age person, literally any age, in the nude. It just can't be sexualized. Yeah, you'd have to tell somebody if you're worried. Listen, I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. That's it. I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. I got out in 1997. I worked in the field of security and stuff like that. And that's it. I worked in security. So I'm a very protective person. I obey the law. I like the police. I'm not like a thug or a criminal. I'm not a hacker. I'm not a copy botter. I like to be able to go to sleep at night knowing that I'm a good person. I'm not trying to, I might troll people a little bit, but I'm not a griefer. Like, I'm not going to hack somebody or attack them or, whatever. And I'm not going to try to go around trying to make people try to kill themselves for shits and giggles. If anything, I'll fuck with somebody who's an asshole, who's a piece of shit that, that's not, it's just a worthless piece of shit. I would troll that person, really hard or whatever. But for the most part, like I said, my whole purpose in being in Second Life is for this project. I'm trying to help people. I'm not trying to fuck with people. I only go to AMH and other places to get feedback. Eventually, I want to have my own place and just stay there. You know what I mean? I just want to have a place where I'm going to be there all day long. Or only visit it when I come online at night. I would rather go outside and get fresh air and exercise. I'm not trying to make money, but if I can make money and get rich, that'd be fucking great. But that's not my goal. If I can do it without making money and make it cheap for people or free, I'll do that too. I just want to help people. If there's a depressed, rare blood type person out there with a shitty computer who's on the verge of suicide who just wants to make a friend, I want to help that person. You understand? I want to help that person. So I have to design a place that kind of a person can go to in Second Life and be safe, not be worried about getting attacked. I have a script monitor checker ejector over here. That's all I really have first. Yeah, without crashing. Exactly. That's very, here, let me pick all this up and show you guys something that I was thinking about getting. But it's very fucking anime. But I just want to get rid of this stuff here too because it's just fucking laggy and stuff.
No.
Yeah, it's Tomb Raider. It's the woman from Tomb Raider. That's all the sounds that she makes. That's the only game,
No.
that's the only like PlayStation game that I ever had. That and Need for Speed. Those are the only two like games that I ever really played. Wow, I took out like 4 pieces of major furniture, and I'm still at 618 prims with this place. That's crazy. All right, hold on, because I'm about to pick it up. You're still gonna land on the platform, but and you guys have no idea how much I appreciate you guys being here right now, because you guys just help me to advance like this stuff in so much more of like an area. Because this is what I need. I need people to ask the questions to make me think of what I need to do. I'm a universal receiver. I'm just a research guy. You know what I mean? I'm a sponge. But if people don't ask me the right questions or volunteer the right information, I can't do anything. It's like basically literally like Jerry Maguire. Help me help you. That's it. Beat it with a fucking stick until it works. Wait a minute. You guys both know your blood types? Which one of you is O positive? Okay, Quoth is O. Do you mind if I add you as a friend? Not to say that I'm prejudiced, but I'm going to add both of you if you want. You don't know your center? Do you mind if I add you as a friend for like future reference for business contacts? Like I'm not going to bug you about other shit. And I'll probably just annoy you with work related stuff if anything. I'm just going to try to milk you for information about stuff or help cuz but I don't like do I don't really I take a break at the end of the day. Like I'm going to go get some food pretty soon here. And then I was going to go like to Venice Beach, but it's too fucking late now and I'm actually lactation is hot. Hey, if we can work that in and it works, and there's people like I know there's a milking thing with what is it like? Oh, what is it? A Hue cow and Hue bull. Have you ever seen those? Milk. Yeah, I've had friends that were into that. Yeah, yeah. My friend like she kept trying to sell her milk and she could never sell it because everybody's trying to sell their milk and nobody wants to buy it. Oh no, no, it's not. I'm gonna TP you guys somewhere to show it to you. It's someone else's creation on a platform. There's a couple, but I'll just show you this one. It's 4 o'clock now. Okay, so let me know when it's all like res. It should be res pretty fast. It's very simple here. Yeah, I'm not banned from here either. This is something that I found that was like really cute and it has like some stars, like you see these big stars and stuff like that. And it's a big open area out here to just chill. But then there's like a building here, like with the entrance with the star opening, that I could maybe do like a little bit of a dance club or like a game bar, like with tables, like a game or something, like a gamer bar. I don't know. It's just something I was looking at. It's just cute. It's pretty, but I don't know if it's just too much. You know what I mean? Because like Like you guys are like demonish kind of stuff. Like I don't know what you're into or like I don't know. This is just something I was thinking of. But let me show you the other one because now I'm looking at this and now it looks stupid. This one looks stupid now. I want to take it to the other place now. Yeah, that's what you see what I'm saying though. But it could be very anime. You know, I could do an anime like game bar with strap-ons. I want to see. I want to be able to advertise this in real life and not be ashamed of it, though. I'm a 46-year-old man. I want to be like a 46-year-old businessman with business cards, you know, or like a phone app to be able to share with people. Like, hey, yeah, I'm the owner of this virtual reality venue, you know, like that teaches people about, you know, chemistry, role play, and stuff like that. I don't want to be like talking about like virtual dongs and dildos and shit like that. But here, I'll teleport you to the next one. I'm just waiting because I don't know if you guys are typing something. I don't want to miss it. I help people learn their blood type by tearing their asshole open. Stupid. See, now I know you're just trolling me now. Okay, hold on, but I'll TP you guys.